My name coming out your mouth, then I feel flattered. Cause when they stop talking about you, then you don't matter. Since yay high, young and used to stay fly. Never snitched the rule, a lot of y'all forgot to play by.
There's a gap in Wilmington between police and community, and the perception is that we're a community under siege. It's the difference between the caterpillar and the bumblebee. The perception is that when, say, young white males in the suburbs are approached by police, they're approached with the idea that that's a caterpillar that may one day be a butterfly. But when young black men are approached in the community, they're approached like that's a bumblebee and he may sting me. And I think the fear and misperception is on both sides of the equation, and there's not enough effort being put into bridging that gap and understanding. Yeah, it will get worse. This powder keg will explode because the provocation can be a stop, it can be a call, it can be a domestic violence call, it can be anything. And if in fact there is not some at least acceptance in the community that the police are here to help, and if there's not some understanding with the police that everyone they approach in the community is not a potential drug dealer or murderer, then this powder keg will explode and it'll be bad this summer.
The story begins on a warm night in Wilmington, Delaware. North Market Street sits under a low sky, the kind that glows with city light even after midnight. The King Plaza apartments rise over the block, a brick and concrete complex where hundreds of people live their lives stacked above one another. On most nights, this place is simple. Families cooking dinner, kids trying to sleep, TV noise leaking through thin walls. But on June 2nd, 2021, the night turned into something else. It turned into a scene that would leave 3 police officers wounded, 1 man dead, and an entire community shaken. It starts with a phone call. Around 9:30 at night, Wilmington police get a 911 call for a domestic dispute in progress at an apartment in the 2400 block of North Market Street. It sounds like the kind of call officers get every week. Arguments, family trouble, emotions running high. There's no mention yet of gunfire or a standoff. On the radio is just another case number, another address, another family that needs help. 3 Wilmington police officers head to the scene. They drive through city streets they know well. Wilmington is Delaware's largest city, and these officers know the weight of each call. They pull up near King Plaza, step out of their cars, and begin walking toward the building. King Plaza is old, tired housing. Later reports would describe mold, rodent problems, broken things that stay broken. For many residents, it is what they can afford. For some, it is the only option. That night, they are home, watching TV, cooking, getting kids ready for bed, when they hear the first sounds of trouble below. The officers move toward the apartment tied to the call. It is on an upper floor. The hallway is narrow. The doors are close together. As the officers approach, they don't know that another man is inside. 31-year-old Bernard Goodwyn of Smyrna, Delaware. Police later say he is the suspect. They will say he fired at them as they entered. At this moment, the officers do not know his name. All they know is that they have been sent to help, and that somewhere behind one of these doors is a problem waiting to be solved or to explode. Then it explodes. As officers reach the doorway, gunshots tear through the air. The shots are sudden and close. There is no time to talk, no time to step back. Bullets fly from inside the apartment, slamming into the officers at close range. One officer is hit, then another, then the third. The hallway control disappears in an instant. The quiet of the building is shattered by the roar of gunfire, the shouts of officers, and the scream of radios pushing out the words no one wants to hear. Officers down. In a matter of seconds, North Market Street turns from a quiet urban block into an emergency zone. Outside, police cars swarm the area. Lights flash off the brick. Sirens cut through the night. Officers rush to pull their wounded co-workers to safety. Neighbors look out and see one officer carrying another to a patrol car. The injured are rushed to the hospital, where doctors and nurses move quickly to stabilize them. All three will survive. They are listed in stable condition by morning. One is released early, and the other two follow later. The city will call it a blessing. The officers will call it a miracle. Back at the apartment building, the focus shifts from rescue to containment. The suspect, now publicly identified as 31-year-old Bernard Goodwyn of Smyrna, has not surrendered. Police say he is still inside, armed. The scene transforms into a standoff. Officers block off the surrounding streets. They call for specialized units. Tactical vehicles roll in. A command post is set up. The building becomes the center of a 12-hour siege that will keep an entire neighborhood on edge until the next day. As the hours stretch past midnight, the building is locked down. Police escort several women and a child out of the building, including a 61-year-old woman whose daughters later say she can no longer bear to live there. They describe how Goodwyn climbed a fire escape and broke into her apartment through a window. The terror of that moment, someone suddenly in your home, armed, while your grandchild is present, stays with them long after the flashing lights fade. Officers try to communicate with Goodwyn. They attempt to negotiate over a long stretch of the night. Police later say they spent roughly 12 hours trying to talk him into surrendering. But from the outside, there is no sign of progress. There are no hostages left inside. There are no demands shouted from windows. The suspect does not emerge. For the officers outside, every minute is a risk. For the neighbors in nearby blocks, every minute is a reminder of how close they are to danger. The standoff is not just a police event. It is a community event. People gather where they are allowed, behind crime scene tape, behind police lines, inside cars and homes watching news feeds at their phones. Some residents talk about being tired of gun violence, tired of fear. Others talk about the strain on officers who never know when a domestic dispute call will turn into a shootout. Wilmington is a city that has fought with headlines about violence for years. Now, once again, the city is on live TV because of gunfire. Inside the building, the residents who have been evacuated wait in fear and frustration. Some say they were not told clearly what was happening until they were already outside. Others say that when they were allowed back in later, the inside of the building looked like something out of a nightmare. Broken doors, damaged walls, reminders in every hallway of what took place. By morning, the standoff is close to ending. The sun rises over a street that has been awake all night. Officers are tired but steady. They decide the waiting has gone on long enough. A robot is sent into the apartment where Goodwyn is believed to be. It moves through the damaged rooms and gives officers a clear view inside. When the camera settles, it shows that Goodwyn is deceased. Police confirm that he self-deleted during the standoff. A firearm is found near him. The threat has passed, and the long night is finally over. For the residents of King Plaza, the night becomes a symbol of everything they feel is wrong with their living conditions and with the system around them. The King Plaza shooting does not happen in a vacuum. Wilmington has been called one of the more violent small cities in America. Headlines have labeled it Murder Town in past years, a nickname that many residents hate but cannot fully escape. The story of the night 3 Wilmington officers were shot and 31-year-old Bernard Goodwyn died after a 12-hour standoff is now a permanent part of the city's history. It is a reminder of the thin line between an ordinary call and a tragedy, between a quiet hallway and a gunfight, between life and death on both sides of a badge. It is a story written not just in police reports and news articles, but in the minds of everyone who lived through those long, sleepless hours while the city held its breath and waited for the gunfire to stop.